You can lose connection to yourself and still function. You go to work, pay the bills, smile when expected, say the right things, but inside, you're really not there. Something vital is missing, and most men don't realize it's gone until that silence inside becomes unbearable. By then, it feels permanent. Kind of like the real you just slipped away years ago, right out the side door, and no one noticed. But hear this. That guy, he's still there. And if you're honest, you still miss him. You miss the boy who laughed without reason, the man who once had dreams so vivid, they were vivid enough to steal your breath. The version of you who didn't flinch at his own reflection. Sometimes, late at night, when everything is quiet, do you wonder what it would take to come back to life? See, disconnection doesn't happen all at once. It's gradual, subtle, a quiet drift away from yourself. It starts when your voice stops mattering, when your pain is just dismissed by you and others, when silence is rewarded and any uncomfortable honesty is punished. So you adapt. You become who you need to be to survive. In small ways, you kind of begin showing up as a role, not as yourself. And slowly, you lose touch with what you love, with what truly moves you, what makes you feel alive. One day, someone asks what you want, and you can't answer. Now, after my divorce, I asked 3 questions. What kind of a person do I want to be? What do I want to do? What do I want to have? I'm ashamed to say I didn't have any solid, acceptable answers that were truly mine. And if you can't answer what you want, it's not because you're indecisive, but because you've spent years deleting your own desires to keep the peace. You forgot what your own yes sounds like. Life becomes reaction, not choice. The longer it goes on, well, the further you drift away from yourself. Sometimes it looks like burnout, sometimes like restlessness, sometimes like a sadness you just can't really explain. And often, you carry it alone. You know you're disconnected when you feel numb more than alive. You can't name what you want, only what you don't want. You second guess your instincts. You avoid stillness because silence feels threatening. You're surrounded by people, yet feel alone. Disconnection rarely looks dramatic. It usually looks like doing fine, but inside it feels like nothing. And when a man feels nothing long enough, he forgets he's allowed to feel anything. You move through life like a shadow, not angry, not broken, just absent, not there. And it goes unseen because you still show up. You still get things done, but your spark is flickering. Now, this isn't weakness, it's erosion. You become excellent at functioning, at pretending, at wearing the I'm good mask until even you believe it. But somewhere down inside, you know, well, no, I'm not okay. You didn't disconnect because you're weak. You did it because very early on, you were trained. You were trained to perform. You were trained to protect. You were trained to endure. Connection wasn't safe. Vulnerability wasn't welcomed. Truth came at a cost, often a high cost. So, you did what most men do, and little boys, You shut the door. You stopped asking, well, what do I feel? What do I want? Who am I becoming? Instead, you became what was needed, what was expected, what kept things running. But peace at the cost of self isn't peace, it's a prison. Most men don't realize they're locked inside until numbness becomes unbearable. Even then, most, just try to push through because silence feels familiar. And asking for help, my goodness, feels dangerous. But real strength isn't denial. Real strength is return. And here's the truth. You're not gone. You are not lost. You're still in there, under the layers, behind the armor. The man you were born to be is still waiting for you, not to be rebuilt, but for you to remember him. You don't need to know the whole path. You certainly don't need a perfect plan. Right now, you only need to notice the silence and answer it, to whisper just a little. I'm still here, still standing, still reachable, still worthy of coming home. When you return to yourself, it won't be dramatic. It won't be trumpets and the light coming down. It will feel like breath, like a warmth returning to frozen hands, like your own truth finding its way back into your voice. You don't have to perform anymore. You don't have to hide. You are not broken. You've been buried, pushed down, and now it's time to begin uncovering yourself, one honest moment at a time. Still here, still worthy, and still standing.